And here we are at another episode of Flipping Houses for Rookies. How's that, Peter?
I'm awake now.
You didn't know I had a singing voice, did you?
Oh, is that what you call that?
Today's episode is number 284. And the topic or the subject or the title, how's that? Is how to make more than your doctor in the next 12 months or less with creative real estate.
Okay.
Here's the description. Truth is, you have to make time and money investments to increase freedom. But what exactly do you spend your hard-earned dough and precious time on so you are guaranteed this freedom?
Yeah.
Even if you committed to doing things better and smarter and not working harder, what is smarter or better for heightened results? How do you free up your life so it's not I'm going to do that again. How do you free up your life so it is not caged in like a wild animal? More to the point, how do you prevent fatigue ending up with waste, no gain, and failed purposes? What tasks can you engage in that your future will thank you for? By listening to this single podcast, you can start to see your own mind's vision, clear, distinct, perfectly held ideas that will develop new successful actions that most definitely supply you with way more time and way more than what your doctor makes while doing creative real estate deals. I don't know what the hell I was on when I wrote this, man. This is like profound, huh?
Bill, I think you wrote that for me.
Pro or novice will shatter old, not usable beliefs and soon have a clear path to flourish and prosper. Now let me put my money where my mouth is.
That's what I came for today. That's why I'm here.
That's why you came here, is to flourish and prosper?
Yes. And all the other things you said, which is at least partially true. But, it's always a work in progress. It's not like, okay, I'm done.
No.
You sit.
No. All right, so let's do some of the housework type stuff first. So in the description, there's a link. I'm not going to tell you what that link is until the end of the podcast, other than it's worth about $200.
Oh, you're such a sneaky guy.
Yeah, today I am, because I want to have a chance to describe why I'm doing it, and I need the podcast to do that. Oh, also, every Thursday morning, 9:30-ish a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we actually record this podcast. We live stream it on Facebook and YouTube. So if you want to ask us questions or want to be part of the podcast, you can go there. Just go around 9:30. I know it's not a popular time for most people. They're usually working, but that's what works for us. So that's what we'll do it. Sometimes we have people, sometimes we don't. But just go to either Facebook or YouTube, and just go to the chat or the comment section, and you can send us a question, and we'll see it while we're actually recording. Also, please, wherever you're listening to us, make sure you subscribe and send us a review. Or go to flippinghousesforrookies.com. Top right-hand side, there's a link that says testimonials. Leave us a testimonial there. You can do a written one. You could do a video. You can upload a video. You can do an audio. There's all kinds of ways you can do it. Whew, now that's over.
Yeah.
Okay, Pete, I want to start off with this. Da-da-da. You're going to like this.
Let me get the guitar out.
Yeah. There you go. Here we go. You can have everything you love in life as long as you give up what you hate. You can have everything you love in life as long as you give up what you hate. So, by the way, thank you, Dr. Benjamin Hardy, for this wisdom, because that's where I got it from.
Oh, yeah?
Which brings me to today's plan. I'm going to go over 3 simple concepts that if you understand and use will probably double your doctor or lawyer's income guaranteed. And they're not anything you need to do. They're not any actions. They're no tricks. They're no real estate little secrets or nothing like that. It's a mindset. And if you put these mindsets together in your head, or you use them the way I tell you to use them, then you could be a monster income producer. And that's because it's what I do. And I know you can do it.
Well, a lot of people talk about that. Any book I ever read is like the first half is getting your head on straight.
Yeah.
If you start with, if that starts wrong, everything else goes wrong. So it's really important.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm not a much of a get your head on straight type of guy, because I'm like blah, 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 blah. Because what I realize is I have no trouble with that. But there's a lot of people that do. So
yeah, but you fixed your head a couple times.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've been working on just fixing it, in general. Yeah, but a lot of people don't have that opportunity. So a little bit of this. I mean, I wouldn't sit there all day just pondering all this crap. Just go get busy. One of the best things to do. I've worked at this with a lot of friends. Like, you don't feel like it, just get moving. Get moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so tell us what you got today.
So here's the deal: is this is actually a prelude to, because this is today we're recording this. This is the last podcast for 2021. It's December 30th today. So I'm getting ready for the new year stuff. So the next 2 or 3 podcasts are going to. So this is kind of like a prelude, 30,000 foot view of what we're going to cover over the next 2 or 3 podcasts, which is going to be really cool. Really cool, because I'm going to get into the hows and the do's in those podcasts. But today it's just a concept.
Good.
Right?
Good.
So let's just jump right in. Number one is how you look at the real estate business, or for that fact, any other business. And I think I have to, yet again, we talked about our buddy Jay.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, right? Yeah. A couple podcasts ago. And we had these conversations at the cigar shop, and he's trying to find his way, and he knows I'm a marketing guy. And some of this kind of came from him, and some of it came from a couple books I'm reading, so it just kind of like cooked, like simmered up. And now it's like, oh, look at that. And it just showed up, right? So whether you're a business owner or just a solopreneur trying to turn real estate into income, you need to know there is a smart way to do real estate and a dumb way to do it. And that's with any business. It's a smart way to run your business or a dumb way to run your business. Okay? And that to me is very important. Now, I'm not saying the owner's dumb or the owner's smart. I'm just saying there's a smart way to run a business and a dumb way. And there's probably 10,000 books out there that you could read on this, but I have a very succinct viewpoint. I was just telling you the other day, because I was off working on some self-enhancement for myself, and I own 3 businesses. I have a partnership in a business with you. I have one with my other partner, Sean, and then I have my own business. That's just the real estate. And then I have my information business, which is, this podcast and all my courses and coaching and all that stuff. And for a while, for a couple of years, I was an executive at the church.
Yeah.
So this is not something. This is something I've lived. I still live. Okay, so that's why I'm bringing it up. It's not like I'm not trying to brag about my position, because believe me, I don't feel like I should be bragging about any of those positions.
Yeah, but you're doing them. That's the thing. You're tackling them all, and you're just going at all of that stuff, tooth and nail. Right.
So this is the too simple part. And I'm going to try to explain this, but I am going to go over this the next couple of podcasts, because I don't want it to be just thought of like, oh yeah, of course I knew that. Right? So smart real estate entrepreneurs put marketing first. They put marketing first. So it leads the charge for the entire company. So as well as I do, we were in a meeting yesterday, and you know that you're on the coaching calls, and you're like in a lot of places with me. It's like my whole thought process, my entire world is always from a marketing viewpoint.
Yep.
right? I mean, in this meeting yesterday, I kept saying, well, we're going to do this the copywriting way.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to investigate the who. We're going to investigate, the backgrounds. We're going to investigate what's in their heads. We're going to, and then that's all before we even consider even starting anything that has to do with our product.
Yeah, like who, you can have a product, but for who and to who?
Right.
Who?
Right. So we're going to get into that in a minute. So it drives me nuts when real estate entrepreneurs ignore in their beginning days the marketing to learn all the deal structuring, minor details, the minutia for the transactions, the paperwork, the scripts. It's all backwards. It's like you're what is it? You're putting the horse before the cart.
No, the cart before the horse.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant to say. It's just making sure you're paying attention.
I'm listening.
So it's a 1,000% backwards. And I'll go through this in a couple minutes to make my point. Sure. But for now, let's stick with the marketing leading the charge point. In a smart real estate activity, the marketing department or activities and movement is at the top of the pyramid. For a very long time when I coached, in fact, I just ran into this not too long ago because one of my Israel coaching guys asked this week on a coaching call, he was having trouble with his time. I just remembered I used to coach this back in the early 2000s or mid 2000s. Spend an hour a day doing your marketing and an hour a day talking to your sellers. In other words, who responds from the marketing. In the beginning, when you don't have anybody talking to you, anybody calling you, you spend 2 hours a day on marketing. That was my business model. And I got a lot of guys going with that simple, stupid, easy business model. An hour a day marketing. And that could be, making your marketing pieces. It could be setting up your texting. It could be whatever it is. Right. And nowadays, I want to tell all these youngins, Pete, all these youngins out there.
Yeah.
Especially the millennials, I'm speaking to you. I was asked not too long ago a question. Do you think that kids nowadays have a better opportunity than they did before? And I personally think they do. And this is the reason why, is because they have all this technology. I mean, when I started, there was no such thing as the internet.
Yeah.
And now you and I have 3 businesses, And like yesterday, we were working on our REI Replay account, which is software. It's reireplay.com. Go there. It's $50 a month. It's not a secret. I don't get any commission, nothing. It's just go. Why would I want a commission on $50? You know what I mean? Just go there and get it.
Yeah.
And we text, a few hundred people a day. And you were telling me, what did we do yesterday? I mean, you don't have to use names, but what did we do yesterday? And tell me why.
Oh, the meeting we had?
No. After the meeting.
Oh.
You're lost.
Well, we were talking about our business. We hired somebody.
Yeah, exactly right. And why did we have to hire someone? What did you say to me? What started that conversation?
Bill, I got a problem here. There's so many names coming in. I'm not keeping up. Because I have some other activities. I don't just sit in front of the computer, but I'll spend an hour, 2 or 3 some days. And I can't keep up because if I have to talk to someone, it's 45 minutes, maybe an hour on the phone. That's one guy. Yeah. And I have a list. I'm behind right now. Geez, I got to call that guy.
So let me ask you this question. I'm gonna get to this in a few minutes as soon as we get through the marketing section because I know what people are thinking when you say that. I'm gonna get to that. So they don't want to have that pressure of having all these leads.
Okay,
but let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
We're going to get to it in a minute. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Okay. I know you got stuff to say. We'll get to it. I promise. So let me ask you this question. Do you feel right now, Mr. Pete the rookie?
Yes. First class
rookie. That there's a problem with money?
No.
Why?
Because I have some.
Not only that, but what do you have in front of you? I mean, we're going today to look at a 4-family house that I'm pretty sure you did 98% of the work already. I'm just going in to close the deal. And if we do, what happens? We get cash flow.
Yeah.
It's an owner finance deal. He's not talking about any deposit. It's just a matter of us paying for a closing, and we're in.
Yep.
Half an hour from our house. And how did you find that? It's in those leads. So those leads are where your money is. So all these people are telling me how they want to make money with real estate, and they wanted this, and they come on my, the third Wednesday of every month, I do a free meetup, and I talk about deal structuring, and they're going to study how to talk to clients, and they're going to study how to do this and study how to do that. And I'm going to get back to that. It's bullshit, Pete. It's backwards. It's putting the cart before the horse. Okay. So, in a smart real estate activity, the marketing department or the activeness and movement is at the top of the pyramid. The marketing and the activity of marketing is at the top of the pyramid, like it's the CEO at the top. It's the boss. Okay. This arms the entire. Now, when you do this arms the entire real estate activity. It could be you as a solopreneur, or it could be your business. It doesn't matter. When you put marketing at the top, like it's the boss, and tells everybody else what to do, this arms the entire activity with development of offers. Like, how do you make offers? It bullseye scripting. You want my scripts? Pooey. You don't need my scripts. If you do your marketing and you get out there and do some of the things that we're talking about, your scripts will come natural. And believe me, there's nothing better than a natural script. That's what closes people. Right? The creation of income. You make income out of thin air. Thin air. I wasn't even paying it. I was not even paying attention. I went to Florida for 6 weeks, came home the 12th of December. I was trying to catch up with some work. I had some stuff I had to do. My wife's like, we got to go here, we got to go there. Not even paying attention. My lawyer says, we're going to do that closing tomorrow? Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
And I picked up a check for $16,000.
You forget. That's funny.
3 days before Christmas. Okay? That is the magic of creating income out of thin air. And I'm not bragging here. I just want to get a viewpoint, and I only know mine. I only know where I come from, right? So marketing drives customer service. Marketing drives every other activity in the chain of buying and selling real estate. The old cliche is you're always marketing for an acquisition, you're always marketing for a buyer, and you're always marketing for money. And oh yeah, by the way, if you're foolish enough to do rehabs, you're always marketing for contractors. Yeah. And just in case I decided to do creative real estate and stop doing rehabs, I just renovated an apartment, and I was told it was going to be $5,100, and I got the bill yesterday at $6,700. How did that happen? $350 to go pick up a refrigerator and take the old one to the dump. How does that happen? And if that doesn't aggravate you, if you're a contractor and you're listening to me right now, send me a support ticket and I'll tell you how I really feel about contractors, because I'm not going to do it in public. Okay? Why do they do that? It's like, I don't understand. And I like to think that it's me. That's what it is. It's me. That's what I decided. Because it's a common denominator with all of them. Like, I try very hard, like, just give me proper predict. That's all I want. I don't beat my guys up for price or anything anymore. Unless they're being stupid. $350 to go pick up a refrigerator and drop it off. I mean, I could have paid Lowe's $97 and they would have done the same thing. Why am I paying $350?
I was going to say that the stores do very little, sometimes free on deliveries.
Problem is they think I got a lot of money because they know I got a lot of properties and they're just trying to get their piece. That's all it is. And it's just a shame. So now, just like the guy beforehand, I'll pay him the check. I'll tell him I'm not happy and I won't be coming back.
Yep.
Now, where's this guy going to find a $6,000 inside job 2 weeks before Christmas? It fell in his lap. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but anyways, I'm always marketing for contractors.
Sure.
Right? In dumb real estate companies, everyone from the top down failed to understand supreme importance of sales and marketing. Dumb businesses, and you've been in them, Peter, you've seen them.
Yeah.
Right? They fail to see the understanding of and importance of sales and marketing. Like you just redid your kitchen and put in new kitchen cabinets. And the number one thing you complained about was the marketing did a good job of getting you there.
Yeah.
You know, and the sales did a good job of closing you, but they never connected to the service department. There's a big gap between them. So this is why I'm talking about if the marketing runs the business, you know, under the undertow, so everybody's in line and marching in the same parade, it works.
Yeah.
Right. So in a Dom real estate company, everyone from the top down failed to understand the supreme importance of sales and marketing, or worse, they see it as a necessary evil. I hate that. When I hear that, I hate that. They see marketing as a necessary evil because they don't understand it. That's like psychology. They don't understand it. Well, how does that happen? You're a human being. You have feelings. You have a mind. You have a spirit. You have a body. How could you not understand it? Psychology. How could you not understand it?
We have needs. You know, people have needs. Isn't marketing just understanding needs, communicating and helping people do things and letting them know things and connecting with people? Like, duh. I have to do that just for dumb guitar lessons, you know? Have a website, have ads, internet presence, you know, nothing fancy, but just enough, you know? Jeez.
I'm going to come back to your point after I read two more paragraphs because you are so right. You're spot on, right? And so more often than not, okay? So worse, see it as necessary evil, right? And more often than not, have other ideas on how to make money. You know, these executives that don't like the marketing departments. I work for several of them. They don't think marketing is important. They think marketing is a necessary evil, and they have other ideas of how to make money, thinking that marketing, who truly are the only experts capable of boosting and boosting income and finding deals and revenues and profits in any business, think that they could make. They think their product is superior and they're making the money off of the product.
Don't you need somebody to sell the product to?
Right. They think they're the best plumber in town because they've got everybody calling them. You know, word of mouth.
Yeah.
Well, I got news for those people that think word of mouth is a bit. You know what word of mouth is? It's marketing through your service department. It's because your service department is doing your marketing for you. You are doing marketing through your service. It's how you treat people. You should capture that affluence or that success, and you should do more of it.
Right.
You should have a good, you know, if a good marketing department will be like, do a referral program, or, you know, like I just did a donation. Now, I made a donation to this organization. I can't tell you how. For 20 years, I've made a donation to this company. I don't know, multiple times a year.
Yep.
Right? Multiple times a year. Sometimes big, sometimes small. I almost fell out of my chair because when I was in Florida, I made a donation when I was there. I get a phone call, and it's somebody that just called me and said to me, "Hey, Bill. Yeah, this is Bill Hawthorne, right? Yeah. I just wanted to say thank you for your donation."
Holy moly.
Now, I've given tens of thousands, thousands and tens of thousands of dollars to this organization. And nobody ever, and I didn't give that much this time. It was a few $1,000s. And they called me up and they said, "I just want to say thank you. We really appreciate your donation.
Oh, wow.
And have a Merry Christmas. Have a good day." That was it. They didn't want anything else. And now here I am telling you that.
Yeah.
Right? How hard is that?
You know, I have a music supply company. I won't mention the name necessarily, but you buy something from them, and then a week or two later, somebody calls and says, "Hey, how's everything working out? You get it? Is it okay? You need help with it? Any questions? No? You need anything? No? Good. Have a good day. Let me know if you need something. Bye."
Yeah.
And there's nothing, and you're like, these guys are nice.
That's marketing.
Yeah.
That's my point. That's when the marketing department is the what is the word I want? The locomotive in this long train.
Mm.
It's driving the whole thing. There's all these cars behind it, but that locomotive is out front. And it's got the right, all it is a viewpoint. That's all it is. It's a way to look at your business.
Yeah, well, that that gives me the viewpoint. Like, there's like 5 companies out there I can order products from, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the same product. The price is
Yeah.
about the same. So why don't I call the people that are nice to me?
Exactly.
Exactly.
What's
Mary's going to visit her sister. Goodbye.
See you, Mary. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And then, you might feel like doing another donation sometime just because they were nice to you. Like, you'll feel more amenable to it. Why not?
Exactly. So going back to what you were saying before, the formula that we talk about all the time, right? We talk about this all the time, is 1, find a motivated seller and talk to them. 2, tell them what you do. We buy houses. 3, ask them what would have to happen to sell your house today. 4, which is, what do they really want? What do they need and want to sell the house? That question will ask them, right? And number 4, then give it to them with one of my 7 core strategies. Now I'm gonna just touch upon that very easily. There's the 7 core strategies you'll find if you go to flippinghousesforrookies.com. If you go all the way down to the bottom of the page, there's a creative 101 creative real estate course there you can get for free. And all 7 strategies are there and you can watch them. I show you the math on how to buy them. I show you the math on how to sell them. And then I show you how much money you make if you do that. Right? So they're a slot deal, which is a sandwich lease option transfer. There's an option deal. There's a lease option deal, or a rent to own, we call it. There's a subject to or getting the deed. There's rehab retail. There's wholesale. And then there's owner finance. Right? All those are at flippinghousesforrookies.com. Go to the bottom of the page, log in. It's all free. Okay, so I'm not going to go over that today. So the point that I'm trying to make is that once you say what would have to happen for me to buy your house today, and they say, wow, I want $200,000 for my $190,000 house. Okay, so if I give you $200,000 for your $190,000 house, will you sell it to me? Yes. Okay, good. Here's how it works. And you showed him the slot deal. Because the slot deal, you could buy that deal. You could buy that, make $10,000, like nothing. Or they'll say, well, I got to sell it. I got to get all cash. Okay, well, here's the cash offer. No matter what they say, one of the 7 core strategies will show you how to pay them or how to now, whether they do it or not is a different story. That's we have podcast after podcast about that. Right. Which, by the way, this year, I am going to heavily focus on, I have 2 goals this year. 2 goals this year. 1, I'm not selling my courses anymore. I'm done.
What?
I'm done. I'm not selling them anymore. I'm not doing it.
Well, what are you going to do with them?
I'm going to sell how to use them.
Oh, really?
I'm not going to sell the courses anymore. If you want to know what I do, I'm going to sell you. If I'm going to sell you anything, because I don't think it's selling, I'm going to show you how to use them. If you're one of those people that are flighty and you jump from lily pad to lily pad looking for that nice shiny object and you're looking for the quickest, you're not good for Bill's Planet. That's what I'm going to do. And number 2, I'm going to beat to death until you and I are in graves. How to get people to like you.
Oh, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. Because I'm tired of this whole game, because I give up my time. You even said to me the other day, why do you spend so much time on the education when you could go buy a house and make, $50,000?
Yeah. So
I'm not tired of it. It's just I'm going to properly allocate my time. If you want to learn what I do, I can make you a millionaire easily. Yeah, easily.
It's in the doing. I mean, I think we all know people who have a book after book after book and course after course on the shelves, right? And not using them.
Exactly.
We have a lot of that, but we actually use it.
Right.
So,
and my books are written from my experiences of what I've done. It's not theory. My books are not theory.
Yeah.
Right? They're doing it. So anyways, let's get back to the podcast. So remember, finding a motivated seller and talking to them is number one. And every deal happens this way. Tell them what you do. I buy houses. 3, ask them what would have to happen for you to sell the house today. Number 4, then give it to them using one of my 7 core strategies. Now, Pete beats the crap out of this point, which he should. This is his job. This is what he thinks. This is how he keeps me in line. The formula, Bill, is find a motivated seller, not make one. Well done for spotting that.
You can't make one. I used to try. In other jobs, like stick a person in front of me with a guitar. I can teach anybody. It's not like not this one. Anybody. When it comes to houses, you can't buy a house from everybody or anybody. They're just not in the right frame of mind for what we do. And you have to just find the right guy. And when we've seen the coaching students, I got this guy and I like the house and I'm trying to convince them, like, wear yourself out. You're going to tear yourself out. Don't do it.
Exactly right. Which brings me to number 2 for today. Number 2. Remember I told you there's 3. Number 2. What question are you asking yourself consciously or subconsciously? Which one of these 2 questions are you asking yourself? How do I achieve this goal? Or number 2, who can help me achieve this goal?
Oh, that's interesting. Like the goal of buying the houses and making the money, the overall goal.
So are you asking yourself, how do I achieve this goal? How do I buy and sell real estate? Or who do I find to help me buy and sell real estate? Now, before I go any further, Pete, I can't take credit for this concept. Dan Sullivan, who's the founder of Strategic Coach, and Dr. Benjamin Hardy put this subject all together in their book called Who, Not How. So you can go look at it. It's Who, Not How.
Hey, Bill, is that like I've heard it said this way? Is this the same kind of thing? Like, who's got my money?
Yeah, that's what's his name?
Is that Grant?
Grant Cardone. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he got that from somebody else, but like, wait a minute, who's got my money? Well, who's got the house that has my money in it? I gotta go find that guy. Yeah, there's my money.
Exactly. So here's a synopsis of this amazing book.
Yeah.
So many rookies are stuck in, how do I do this? Worried about the details, which creates an underlying dumb effect. And here's what happens. And this is my belief. When demands are high, we show up. When they are low, we settle.
I'm not following you.
When demands are high, we show up. When they're low, we settle. When the necessity level is high, you show up. When the necessity level is low, you settle.
Yeah.
You got plenty of money in the checkbook and you're comfortable, you settle.
Yeah.
You have no money, you got to pay the rent by the end of the month, you show up and do something.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the whole marketing concept that I was just talking about. If you keep the demand high, you show up. Now watch this. If you just focus solely on who can I find to do a real estate with the way I want to do it, all the hard work, travail, and failures melt away. Who's create results, hows make problems. So when you find someone who can help you or who can do it, you get results.
Yeah.
When you try to figure out how to do it, you just get more problems.
Yeah. If anybody in this business who has found a motivated seller will never forget it, that first one, because it is so totally different. They say yes to everything you ask for, no matter how badly you ask and how inexpertly you ask. They go, "Oh, I'll do that. And I can't pay you for 2 months. Yeah, I'll do that. And I can only pay this much. Okay, I'll do that." It's funny, but that's what happens when you find a motivated seller. Now, you might have to talk to 100 people or 50 people or 20. Just go find them. That's
So-
why marketing. That's why marketing is important.
There you go.
You get on people
There
coming
you
by.
go.
You know, the train. There's a locomotive. Now I live not too far from a train track from right here. There's gonna be a depot down the road, and you can have a train go by, and there's 3 cars, or a train go by and there's 100 cars. Now, where you're more likely to find your motivated seller?
Right.
On the 100 car. So
Exactly.
your marketing's got to be like a 100-car locomotive. I like that for imagery.
I like that. So when you're trying to accomplish something challenging or difficult that you have never done before, you probably need a who.
Bill, you sound like Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, exactly. So I put my notes down because I want to just make sure that this is fully understood.
Yeah.
Who could sell me a house that doesn't want a deposit?
Mm-hmm.
Who can sell me a house that will let me make payments? Who can sell me a house that's not going to check my credit? Who can sell me a house that they'll just like practically throw the keys at me and tell me to do whatever I want? Suppose I get $50,000 in the bank, and I want to employ it. I want to put it to work.
Yeah.
Who could sell me a house to make my rate of return on that 50,000 12% a year? Instead of asking how, you ask who.
Yeah.
Now, watch this, Peter, and I'm probably going to cover this in a little while. Actually, yeah, I'm just going to keep talking because I'm going to cover this in a minute.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you a story. I just had a coaching client do as I explained today. He outflowed a lot. Uses REI Replay. Found a motivated seller who was willing to sell a subject to deal in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they had a mortgage. They put the deed in my seller's and my coaching client's name. The seller put the deed in my coaching client's name, and the mortgage stayed in the seller's name, and he's now paying that mortgage.
Yeah.
Now he's in Israel.
The coaching student.
Right.
Yeah.
He did not work on the how. Because of my guidance, I wouldn't let him work on the how to do this deal. But instead found a who. He found someone who could do this deal for him in North Carolina. He located a lawyer in North Carolina that specialized in subject to deals.
Can I just ask, how do you Google that?
He did. His intention was strong because I'm going to make this point in a minute. And she did the whole deal for him for about $1,200. Did the entire deal. Met with the client. Wait a minute. All he did was find a who that would help him.
Well, he got 2 who's then.
No, hang on. So I'm getting there. I know I'm taking a long time here. So he found the seller who's a who.
Yeah.
Then he found the attorney who's
That's
a who. And then he found a buyer who's a who. So they closed on Monday for the acquisition, sold on Tuesday for the sale. She did all of that for $1,200.
Wow.
So I hear about all these coaching clients that are stuck in the how do you do it, would spend way more than $1,200 and way more time not doing the business, trying to figure out how to do it, and not have a deal.
You know, theoretically, the more time you study something, if you're not under good guidance, you will scare yourself more than anything because you'll keep seeing something that you're not sure how you're going to do.
Now there's something I got to go figure out. You're studying A, B, C, D, and all of a sudden you get in the middle of B, and it's like, oh, there's an A, B, C, D for B.
Yeah,
or 1, 2, 3. Now you got to go study all that. You're stuck on B, right?
Yeah, and every time not too sure how to do something, which will happen, you scare yourself. So don't, you will overstudy and scare yourself right out of the business.
So he was like a choreographer in a dancing studio. He choreographed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, he flew in because he thought he had to be there for the closing. So he flew from Israel to North Carolina. And then he went from North Carolina to visit family in New Jersey. And because he was in New Jersey, we had lunch together. He was out of his skull. Out of his skull. I mean, he was floating around because of the education that he got by doing this deal. He learned so much from doing this deal. And I asked him when we were at lunch, which he bought me lunch, which was very nice, right? I asked him when we were at lunch, I said to him, Matt, how do you think you'll be on the phones with your new deals? Now, this was a week and a half or 2 weeks before Christmas. I've already texted him once this morning. Since we've been on this podcast, he's texted me back. He's got 2 more deals.
Hey, Bill, are they both subject to?
Yep. No, one is owner finance. One is owner finance, and the other one is subject to. My point is this. What happened? What happened to him? His confidence soared.
Yeah.
Because he found a who that could do it for him. Now, did he pay money to do it? Yeah. Do you have to do that for every deal? No. But in the beginning, you can find someone who can help you. My coaching clients, I'm their who. Why? Because I can show them what to do. I can sometimes do it for them.
Yeah.
I'm their who, right? That's the reason why my coaching program is no longer a coaching program. It's an apprentice program. And this is the reason why the apprenticeship program is so powerful. Right? And proof of that, Pete, is you were not, I mean, you've changed some things in your life and your lessons and all that kind of your music lessons, but for a long time you weren't on the coaching calls. Now all of a sudden you're on the coaching calls. Why are you on the coaching calls? Because you're getting something out of it. You're still learning. Yeah.
Well, there's always details as you move forward. So, my wife and I both jump on, and she learns a lot, I learn a lot, and it's worth it to me. It's way more valuable than anything else I can do.
So let's back up. You said to me yesterday when we had breakfast, we had a meeting, and then afterwards we had another meeting. We were in the restaurant 3 hours, right? Poor girl. She kept asking, "She want more tea?" No, I'm good.
She was afraid we didn't have any money. We didn't know how to get out.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, I have too many leads. So I am doing your marketing for you.
Mm-hmm.
I set up the system for you. You're managing it. You're my who for that fact.
Mm.
You're like, I have too many leads. What was my knee-jerk response?
Hire someone.
Get a who.
Yeah.
And in hours, I had negotiated with this person I already had in the wings, and he's on the phones.
Yeah.
Hired him for an hour and a half a day. He's got the script. He already knows because I've been training him. He's in my coaching group.
Yeah.
Right. And all of a sudden, what did that do to your life? What did that just do to your life? How much time did that free up for you? What did that just do for your life? Because you didn't ask how, you asked who.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what I was asking for. You presented the who because you're on this who thing. But and I know just talking to you, we'd figure it out some way, one way or the other. And the solution was going to be either back off or build up. And there's no reason to back down, just build up.
So because I have this mentality, and I'm cutting you off, because I have this mentality of marketing is the locomotive of this train. It goes first, and we do not shoot the horse that pulls the wagon.
That's right.
We don't do that. No. I have in my mind, I want to make more money this year, and I had a killer year this year. I had the best year. I just turned 58. It's the best. Monetarily, was the best year I had in my life. But when you look at me, how many houses did I buy? Not a lot. And I'm gonna go off on a rant here for 3 or 4 minutes, and I hope it gets understood, because I'm not going to teach it. I'm just going to tell you what to do, not how to do it.
Okay.
The reason why is because I have this thing wrapped up in my head, these 3 datums, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go over the 3rd datum in a minute, but I'm going to tell you that I concentrate on who and the marketing. So I have in my book, I haven't released it. We're going to release it this month or next month. the real estate monopoly, breaking the real estate monopoly. There's 5 steps to a sequence. We went over this on a podcast, in 2 or 3 podcasts. I don't know what numbers they are. I don't have it in front of me. If you want to know, just send me a support ticket, or just go into flippinghousesforrookies.com/podcast in the search engine. Put the word monopoly in there, and you'll find the podcast that talks about this. But what's the number 1 step in that sequence, Peter? The list.
Right.
The list is the who.
Mm-hmm.
Who can I go to if I have no money and I have no credit and I have no time? Who can I buy a piece of property from? The best thing in the world is to go on to Facebook, Marketplace, go under the rent section, and while you're taking a crap on the toilet in the morning, because everybody does that, or whenever you do, you text these people for that few minutes, that 10 minutes while you're taking a crap. Would you be willing to rent to me for a year or 2 and then sell until you find someone? Mm-hmm. That is what for 100 years it's called in the direct marketing business niche marketing. You know exactly what message to give to the exact right person, so that it indicates and they respond. Because if you're in the conversation they're already having in their head.
Yeah.
So the who is the exact person that could give you something. So you're a big corporation. You got hundreds of people working for you, and you need a personal assistant. Who could be my personal assistant? And you hire that person. Right? You decide you want to buy your grandson a gift. Who could supply me with what I want? I want to buy my grandson a fire truck. Who can give me a fire truck for my grandson? You decide you want compassion. You think, who can I get to give me compassion? It's everywhere. It's everywhere. So why not use this in your business? Why not change your way of thinking and say, who can give that to me? And then line your marketing up so it bombards them.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, they're like, oh, we buy houses. I see you everywhere. No, you only see me everywhere because I've gotten into your world and I know where you go. I know the name of the pizza joint you go to. I know what yoga class you take. I know what restaurant you eat in. And I put my message there. Now, here's my point that I made earlier about the millennials.
Yeah.
The internet allows us to do this. You do Google AdWords, and you could do pay-per-click, which puts them right where they are, where they're searching, or you could do display ads, and it puts them right on the same blog or news channel that they're watching. So you're everywhere. Send them a yellow letter. You send them a text. How hard is that? You're everywhere. You're where they are. Now, that's advanced strategy. I get that. That's exactly the reason why I have a monthly deal hunting monthly mastery class, because once a month I go over these marketing campaigns. So if you're in there for 12 months, you have 12 marketing campaigns. But they're very specific because each type of my 7 strategies has a different type of marketing. You can't just say we buy houses. We do that with the street signs, with the bandit signs. We buy houses. Mm-hmm. But they're cheap, so if 10,000 people drive by that sign, it doesn't matter. But if I'm going to spend money on an ad, if I'm going to put a letter in an envelope, then spend $1.40 to put that letter in the envelope and mail it, I'm going to want it to go to I'm not going to want it to fall on deaf ears. Who can sell me a house or a deal that I exactly want? So you figure out what kind of deal you want. I like subject twos, you know that. Mm-hmm. So I market to people that are most likely to give me a subject to deal, and I ask them, who is going to sell me that house? You had that viewpoint. You had that mindset. You think of that. You burn that in the back of your skull, and you look at that every single day, and pretty soon, you know what's going to happen? A deal's going to show up. That's my rant. Did I kill you?
No, I was sitting down comfortably. No, it makes sense. I mean, some of the things you're saying, people might not. Well, how do you find a list of people who do subject to? Well, that's just a certain amount of equity that they would have in the home. You can get a list with how much equity they have in the home. If you want to do rehabs, you find vacant properties or beat up properties or something. You can figure that out.
Yeah, subject to could be divorce, it could be equity, it could be, and that's what the Deal Hunting Monthly Mastery is for, is all that stuff.
Yeah, so it's not mystical. There's answers, but you're making a point. I mean, I've heard it said this way: it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Hollywood.
That's it. I'm done.
So here's what I'm saying. If you outflow and you find that motivated seller, which, by the way, motivated seller, a prospect or a suspect, which is Ron LeGrand's language. What's the definition of a prospect suspect? And I've given multiple definitions of this, but the easiest way to understand what is a prospect and what is a suspect, which, by the way, a prospect and suspect is only to us.
Yeah, so what we're trying to do.
Yeah. So are they a prospect for our system or a suspect for our system? So if they want $200,000 for their house and they want all cash, they're motivated for their cash, all their cash. Mm-hmm. They're not motivated to take monthly payments until we can pay them off. So they're a suspect to us. Yeah. They're motivated. They're just not motivated to us. Mm-hmm. So if we explain to somebody, I will make monthly payments, I will give you $200,000 and save you the 12 to 15% in closing costs you're going to pay if you want to go get all cash. And in return, you let me pay you until I can pay you off for 2 years or 5 years or 3 years or 10 years or 20 years or whatever. And they say yes. And then they say yes again. And they say yes. So the definition of a prospect is they say more yeses than nos. And a definition of a suspect is they say more no's than yes. And that's the definition. The definition of a prospect is they say more yeses than no's to you what you want. And a suspect is they say more no's than yes to what you want. So my point is, why deal with that? Why beat yourself up as a rookie? Why are you looking for scripts? Why are you looking to handle this person? Just go find who's most likely that would say mostly yes and talk to them. Do your homework. I want Mexican food. I'm not going to go into the Italian restaurant. If I want Chinese, I'm not going to McDonald's.
Nope.
It's everywhere else in your life. You have a specific idea of who you want for a soulmate, for a mate, for your wife, for your husband, for a spouse. You know what you want your kids to look like when they grow up. You're going to groom them to be a certain way. So why aren't you doing that here? So if you want to make more money than your doctor, do less work. And the way you do that is you pick your who. Who are you gonna get to sell you a house? And then who are you going to get to do the transaction? You could get lawyers and closing agents to do these deals until you can figure it out. Or hire me as a coach or someone like me as a coach, and they'll teach you. Mm-hmm. Right? If you're more stuck on the house, that's fine, but get a who to teach you the house. The right house, not the house you think. The right ones. Make sense?
Sure does.
Okay, so the last point I want to make, because everybody's silent, mostly Pete.
Well, there's no I just let you go.
There's no comments, so I'm just going to get off my rant. Is number 3. The last point I want to make.
Well, that means we have no questions. We completely understand you.
Oh, yeah, right. We're going to go over this for 3 or 4 more podcasts, so don't think it's over, okay?
Oh, gosh. Okay.
So number 3. I learned this years ago. Actually, I'm lying to you because I don't even do it this way anymore. I'm going to tell you what I do, but this is what you should do. Put your goals into 90-day increments. And I'm talking about this because we're coming up on New Year's Eve and people are going to be making their goals, right?
Yeah.
I want to lose 50 pounds is not a goal. That's an outcome. Put it in increments on doable, active goals. What can I do right now? Well, I can get up tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock and go to the gym. That's a doable goal. Make that your incremental goal. So for the next 90 days, I'm going to get up Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 o'clock and go to the gym. That's the goal. Okay? This keeps you focused. It also keeps you from engaging in tasks simply out of habit. See, that's the problem with goal setting. Remember, we did a podcast a few years ago. Goals are for losers. Remember?
Yeah.
And the reason why is because here's what a goal really is. You're trying to break a habit. You have habits already. And your habits are not giving you the results that you want. So you're trying to break your habit. Right?
That's it.
So by having a 90-day goal, it keeps you focused. Because if you make it for like 2022 or 2023 or 2025, by the time you get to the 90 days, you forgot what the goal was. If you break it down into increments that are doable and in your control, which, by the way, Jim Camp in his book No has a whole chapter on this.
Really?
Yeah. If you keep focused and you keep from engaging in the tasks that simply are habit, your future self will thank you for this. Plus, you make progress every 90 days. If you make progress every 90 days, your confidence will grow.
Yeah.
Your visions will grow. Your who's will grow. You'll be more satisfied by being useful now than remembering later. So you'll be more satisfied with yourself and useful right now to everybody around you than remembering later what you did or didn't do. That was, again, from Dr. Hardy. Thank you for that.
The doctor.
Yeah, Dr. something Hardy. I said it at the beginning. Benjamin Hardy. Does this make sense?
It sure does.
Okay. So to end off, Peter, the link in the chat.
What is it, Bill?
So what I did is I've been selling my reluctant buyer kit, and I'm told by my coach, who I love and adore, he's like a brother to me, Will.
Yeah.
Will Irish. You can find him on Facebook if you want. He's pretty selective on who he takes for clients, but he's there. Told me that this product or this concept is misnamed. That there's a confusion on what is a reluctant buyer.
Oh.
So I'm not going to rename it. I'm just going to stop selling it and start giving it away. There you go.
Yeah,
So,
for free. We don't care what it is. It's free. I'll take 2, please.
Exactly. There you go. So here, everything I'm talking about right now is all 100% true, whether you believe me or not. You test it. You don't have to believe me. Go test it for yourself. Everything we just talked about, any one of my podcasts, don't believe me. Just go test it. And you'll find out that I speaketh no lie. Okay? So here's what happens. You need to find a who. Do we agree on that?
Absolutely.
And if you market to them, you'll get deals. Do we agree on that?
Yep.
If we make a 90-day plan, we're going to probably execute it, right?
More likely.
Because we'll be focused on it. Our attention will stay on it for at least 90 days. Now watch this. What happens to the thinker brain out there right now that says, well, what do I do if I market and I get a deal? Well, first of all, if you get the right deal and get a motivated seller, you can't do anything wrong.
That's true. They'll say yes to whatever. And if you screw something up, the guy really wants to do the deal. He'll help you figure it out. He'll say something. He'll say, I don't think you can do that. Well, do you know what I should do? I think you should do that. Or you ask somebody. He'll ask somebody. You'll find out because he needs to do this. They're motivated because they're not just waiting for a lump of money. They have to make a move pretty soon.
So it's either you're going to do it or somebody else. Now watch this. Just to my point of today's podcast. So we're going out today to look at a 4-family house.
Mm-hmm.
He's already said yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know anything about real estate. It's my first deal or my first second deal or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he says he's willing to do owner financing with me.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? That means I need to find a who. So I need to find someone that can structure this deal for me, put the paperwork together, and close it. So why do you need to know how to do that for your first couple of deals? Either get a coach like me that will show you how to do it, or get an attorney, or get a closing agent. Like, there's your who.
Mm.
Just find someone. So this is what I was talking about. I'm going to go back to the statement you had trouble with, because now I think it will make more sense. When demands are high, we show up. When they're low, we settle. So think of it this way. If you advertise or you get out there and you even just do the Facebook thing and say, would you be willing to rent to me for a year or two and then sell to me, and somebody says yes, does that raise your demand?
Absolutely.
Now you have to go see this person.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have to put a deal together. There's a demand on the line. You're going to get off your ass and you're going to do something.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't put out the marketing and you don't find this person, you're going to settle with, well, maybe real estate doesn't work for me. Or maybe that's just Bill talking, or it's this guy talking, or that guy. It's not for me. Or you're going to start making excuses. I don't have capital, or I'm not a salesperson, so I'm not good at that. And you start making excuses in your own head, lying to yourself, because it's not true. All you need to do is figure out who can do the deal for you. Who will do the deal when I buy it? Who will put it together for me, paperwork-wise? And who can I sell it to? And if you want the research on this, it's that book I told you, Who, Not How. I didn't make this up. I'm just putting into real estate and giving you a synopsis of it. Right?
That's the name of the book?
Who, Not How, yeah.
Okay.
Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So now watch this. Suppose you are a nervous Gertie and you need to put the cart before the horse, right? And you need to have everything ready before you can do. Suppose you're that person.
Yeah.
This is the reason why I bought the Reluctant Buyer Kit, because the best training I could give to you. This is what I'm giving you right now is a $10,000 opportunity. This is a $100,000 opportunity. This could be $1 million opportunity for you, because if you do what I ask you to do, which will mean crawling out of your skin and doing something unusual, confronting your own fears, you'll get through it. The Reluctant Buyer Kit is you find that person on Facebook. They say yes. You go visit them. And you be the reluctant buyer. You're not there trying to buy the house from them or trying to buy the property from them. You're there to study them so you understand what your seller does. You see their emotions. You see their motivation. You understand why they're selling the house. You understand how to look at a house. You practice. You drill it. This is no different than the firemen in my town having a building down the street that they catch on fire, and then they go in there and they put the fire out so they can practice on putting fires out.
Yeah. You got to practice.
It's no difference. This kit, this Reluctant Buyer Kit that's in the description section, the link is, I made it for free. I charged $200 for it in the past. Mm-hmm. It's got checklist. It's got a 5-page inspection for when you're in the house, not to inspect the house for whether it needs repairs or not. It's mostly there so you don't forget to look at anything. So when you leave, you have a full inspection of the house. It has a script in there on what to say when you're in the house. It even has at the end of it, it even has the right script to say, well, I may not be interested in the house. Let me talk to some of my friends and I'll get back to you. And I make you, or tell you, I don't make you, I strongly suggest that you record yourself when you're in the house. So on your cell phone, which we didn't have in the early days. Remember, I used to carry a tape recorder. We didn't have a phone that recorded shit, right? Mm-hmm. My first tape recorder, I think I spent $200 on so I could put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I spend $1,200 for an iPhone. So which is better? So if you tape yourself or record yourself walking around the house And, I don't disclose that I do any of it because it's just for me. And on your ride home, you listen to yourself talking, you will be your best coach. You will critique yourself, and you will do more than I can ever do. You do that 3 to 5 times within a 30-day period, you're ready to go, man. You don't need it. Now you just need to go find your who's. So my question is, what excuse are you making to do this? And here's my answer, the punchline of today's podcast. If you aren't doing this, and you're not listening to me, if you're one of those person that's listened to 30, 40, 50 podcasts, and you haven't called me for coaching, or you haven't been reading books, or you've been just reading books and watching videos and listening to my podcast, and you're one of those freebie do-it-yourselfers, here's your label. You don't believe in yourself. You have lack of confidence that you could actually do this. And it's not just with real estate, it's with other things too. You're that guy that's been in a job for 40 years and you're stuck with the same old paycheck that you were making 5 years ago, when now gasoline is, instead of it being $2 a gallon, it's $5 a gallon, and you're wondering how you can retire or make more money. You're that person. Your problem is the lack of confidence in yourself. And I promise you, if you go out, if you just crawl through your skin just a little bit, nobody's going to kill you. Nobody's going to ambush you. Nobody's going to make fun of you. Nothing. If you just get the reluctant buyer kit, make a couple of appointments and go visit people, you're going to find out that all that shit that you've been telling yourself in your head is a bunch of lies, and you can get through it. So you want to make more than your doctor in 2022? Talk to yourself. Do as I explained today. Make marketing first. Find a who, and make a 90-day goal that's doable. For real. Like if you don't get this goal, if you don't talk to 3 people or 2 people in the next month, you're going to die. Right? I wrote an email yesterday about bleeding. If you were stabbed in the neck, what would you do? You would go to the ER room, right? Mm-hmm. You'd go get repaired, right? Suppose your real estate was the same way. Suppose you treated your real estate the same way, like you were stabbed in the neck and you were bleeding to death, and you need to respond. If you treated your real estate aspirations that way, you'd get something done. So again, this is a 30,000 feet view over the next few podcasts. I plan to break it down, get you some action steps to do. So over the next 90 days, you can do something. So go in the description, get your free course. It's a $200 course. It's the Reluctant Buyer Kit. And then get on the podcast next week and let me know what happened. Get in there and send us a message or send me a support ticket. We're here to help you. And with that said, Peter, the end.